Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. Our short layaway for what, a week?
Yeah, we've been gone a while.
About a week.
Switch rooms.
Switch rooms again.
Yeah.
For the
Switch room is back.
back. We're back to the old room again.
As long as we don't go back to the first way, it's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, in that tiny ass room in there. Yeah, I don't know how we ever made that happen. That was damn impressive because that room's like maybe 150 square feet.
Yeah, we didn't do very. I don't think we did very many.
No, we only did like 8 or 9, and then we moved here. But yeah, we're back in this room. Yeah. It's not all set up yet, but eventually it will be.
Look where we started. Started from that room, came to this room,
here.
Went to that room,
made it big time, got shut down. Now we're back
started
here.
from the bottom again.
Shit happens.
It does happen. We got evicted from our last room.
We did, unfortunately.
Back.
Yep. Rent was just a little too high in that room. Too much square footage. So we got knocked down.
Who were we kidding?
We got humbled at the end of the day. It was a humbling experience.
The room was way too ambitious for us. Yeah, we had no right.
We tried to Joe Rogan it.
Someone else will take that room and do some amazing stuff with it. Just not us.
Just not us. Nope.
We can't do it. We're too little. We're little. Yeah.
We just weren't getting the viewers we thought we were.
No, definitely not. We got a little ahead of ourselves for sure. We signed that lease a little too early. We got a little excited, but we're back to our roots.
Back to it, and I like it. You know, again, it's humbling. Yeah. We're here to talk today about Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yes.
And this isn't actually technically anyone's pick this week. Ironically enough, because whose picks? It was your picks. This week. But Jurassic World was thrown in there as the alternate. We had to do this. Yeah. This is one of the big blockbusters of the year.
It's summer, summer blockbusters. Yep. And let me tell you, the shit storm has started.
It has.
So, what did you guys think about this second entry to the new Jurassic World? I'm going to fill out the room. I'm going to tell you, I was disappointed.
I was
big time disappointed.
All three of us, I think, were pretty disappointed with it.
Man, I was very fucking disappointed. This movie just did not hold up in any aspect.
And for a movie that promotes dinosaurs as much as they do, I was very shocked not to see any dinosaurs.
The first half was just very slow for me.
They could have done so much more in the beginning when they go to the island to capture them. They should have had them capture more than one and then go get Blue. And then you get to see the dinosaurs and shit.
And kill a couple people.
They get there and they're like, oh, there he is. Oh, we're leaving you now.
That whole part, the whole first half just felt tacked on to me.
It did. Yeah, it was unnecessary.
It was like you were waiting for the movie to start. They take you back to the island. And then all that stuff just happens really, really fast.
Yeah.
And the island's blowing up. Well, let's just say they put this multi-trillion-dollar facility on an island that they didn't know
had a volcano. That was my thought watching it too. I was like, really?
Are you kidding me? It's
not well.
Nobody checked that.
Not even a fucking inkling that
volcano could erupt at any moment.
It was laid dormant, and then all of a sudden,
it just
this
said,
thing started right back up.
Pulled Hawaii on us.
Would you even risk it if you were gonna put this multi-billion?
No, not at all.
There's a volcano. It's possible.
There's 1 million islands out there. You could have put them on any island. You didn't have to put them on the one with a volcano.
Yeah, but that whole part just seemed ridiculous. It just seemed like a reason to get them to the island, a reason to add more drama than needed to be. And that's what this movie felt like. It was just, the first half was very, very dramatic with all the things of we gotta save the dinosaurs, and how sad it was supposed to be and everything.
And it was an animal rights group and all that.
Yeah, and it was
they politicized it. I was really? You're politicizing a dinosaur film?
And the main girl who I never even thought had, Bryce Dallas Howard, I never thought she liked the dinosaurs that much.
Yeah, neither did I in the first one. I was very shocked to see that she was such an advocate for
exactly. The first one, she's doing whatever it takes to make money off of them or whatever. And this one, she's a big all of a sudden this fucking volcano comes and changes everything. But I don't know. It just seemed very odd to me.
Yeah, it was.
The whole animal activist group was weird. The girl who is a veterinarian for a dinosaur, but she's never even how do you go to
a veterinarian school for dinosaurs when there is none?
There's
that you can work
she's
on.
never even seen one. I mean, that schooling must be based off a lot of just like what if scenarios and whatnot. But I'm sure she had to go to school for a long time to never work on a fucking dinosaur.
Right.
A lot of ridiculousness.
It was a lot of blockbuster shit. You know, I felt very like watching this the entire time. I thought it was very blockbuster-esque.
Yeah.
Like they made this film not just for. They made it for all the countries, you know, for like China and stuff, because they love the big explosions and shit like that, like Transformers. They didn't make this. And what pisses me off about these movies, man, is they could write these so. I mean, look at the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Amazing. You know? And this one, it just felt very blockbuster, you know? Every single scene had its cliches, its tropes, and I was just like. After a while, I started rolling my eyes. I was like,
exactly. And I know what you're saying. This movie felt like it was the farthest like deviation from the original.
Absolutely.
Like this one just felt like it was just completely like. Although there was a ton of fucking like nods and everything, which is, it's just too much. I mean, it's summer blockbusters love doing that, but they love to do the homage, the nods, like look at this. There's John Hammond. He's here, remember?
Right
He's from
here.
the first one. Yeah, but there's a lot of nods and like winks to all that shit. But this one just felt like it didn't feel like the original at all. Where the original it was just a small group of people. This one just felt, you know, obviously they're trying to make it huge, but there's so much source material you can go back to.
Yeah.
And even the second, third of the original trilogy, which weren't good in any sense, but they still felt like they were part of
exactly
that.
the world of Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World, whatever.
This one, they're just making it way too fucking big. And like, since when is it not enough to have dinosaurs? Everyone now they have to make a new we have dinosaurs.
I know, like it's the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
But now every time, like, I know they kind of do it. They kind of mention in the first one, be like, oh, people get bored or whatever. But from like.
But how fast? I mean, you're talking like 10, 20 years these things have been around? Like
I know,
2 decades,
exactly,
maybe?
And like only the richest people can go and see these dinosaurs in the first place. Like you have to be very rich to go to the original island just to do it. But like now it's not enough. Like you can't. And I get it. They're trying to make it more like scary or whatever, but it just feels tacked on.
Yeah.
Like, well, this dinosaur he's combined with that and that. Like at some point we don't care.
Yeah. It's
a Velociraptor.
Apex predator.
It's designed to kill. I'm like, whoa. They all kill. I mean, they're all the best at killing. I'm like, how much better can you get or whatever?
And was that laser thing explained at all?
No, nothing.
No.
That
was dumb.
I don't want to be the guy who goes in there and like, from a science standpoint, but this one is just like where the first one kind of relied on science being somewhat realistic. Right. This one just throws science out the window.
Well, yeah, the original one, you know, they find that giant mosquito in the rock.
In the amber.
Yeah, in the amber. Yeah. That was cool, and that's like realistic, and you can buy into that. You know?
And even the first one, they like replaced the DNA with frog DNA, which that's crazy, but again, it like projected the story forward where they were starting to mate on their own and whatnot.
Exactly.
But this one, it just throws just all science. Yeah. You got laser guided dinosaurs now. What is happening?
I don't know.
I mean, why? Yeah. When is a Velociraptor Velociraptors have always been enough for me.
Oh, they've always been enough for me, yeah.
I mean, they're killing machines, but now it's just too much. Too much human involvement, I guess.
And the Velociraptors are like good guys now.
Exactly. Now they're trying to make like this connection with the dinosaurs and whatnot.
Yeah, like they're pets or something now.
I know.
Chris Pratt is like an animal behaviorist, but Blue's like his homie. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to. I don't. This one felt like I don't know, like it was for like kids, but then again, they were trying to be like a horror movie also.
Yeah,
and it was trying to have.
I don't think they knew their audience. I really don't think they knew. I just think
they were trying to hit, like you said, every fucking audience they can. Yeah. But
when that goes back to the whole blockbuster thing, you know, like
exactly.
That's my feeling on it.
But it's weird when you have like that kid humor with like, you know, like the nerd being part of the activist group and whatever, and like you have to have a nerd in every group,
of course,
because the first one did it, and that's just another trope, and it's like it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. It's like, why would you, how could you even get these kids to risk their lives to, and why are people still going back to this island?
Yeah,
it's never worked out.
Side note, I got a question for both of you guys. Did you guys like the first Jurassic World?
Yes.
Yeah. So did I.
I mean, I didn't think it was the best movie ever.
Well, but it was at least.
And for a rehashing of a franchise that was 20 years old, it was good.
That's what I thought.
But again, that was the director. You know, was a big part of that. Colin whatever his name is, who directed one of the Star Wars or whatever. But this one, yeah, I like the first one, but this one, I was excited to see this one, but
well, the director of this one, this was his first movie. Everything else was shorts and documentaries.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like.
Yep.
It felt like a rookie guy, and for some reason they always are willing to bet on these no-name guys for these $100 million fucking.
Sometimes it
movies.
pays off, but
sometimes, but
yeah, and I guess most of the time it does, because at least for these blockbusters, you'll at least get people in the door.
Yeah.
Even when it's shitty.
Like this is still making money just because people didn't know how bad it was going to be.
They topped the box office this week.
I'm surprised that it has decent reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, so am I. What it was last time I checked, it was sitting at 55. I'll pull that up and see what it is.
Oh, that's lower than what I saw.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Has it been dropping?
I didn't see it very high.
It's at 50.
50 now, yeah. $150 million.
Yeah, that's just because of the name.
Yep.
And that's not even their... it was only the weekend, but that's not even the budget, right?
The budget was 170.
170, yeah.
Which I thought was low for this.
Yeah, well, I would have
is
thought
one that
like
I would-
220 or whatever.
At least.
But it didn't feel like, it didn't feel like they had a ton of... the CGI was good. I didn't think it was great. Mm-hmm. Again, they went all CGI on this one.
Well, they used 5 animatronic dinos but most of it was CGI.
I like the animatronic dinosaurs better.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I really do.
Not for me. You go back to the first one, the animatronics are amazing. It's way more realistic to me. It's no matter, the CGI is good, the CGI is great, but I can always tell it's CGI no matter, especially when you're using this much CGI where everything is CGI now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
This is random, but what in the hell was with Blue taking one shot on the verge of death? But then this Endo Raptor or whatever, this magnificent one that they created, takes bullets and just rubs them off like they're nothing.
He's designed for that. I don't know.
What designs?
There's no science to it.
I know.
Made from Kevlar, and the only thing that can pierce them is fossilized Triceratops horns.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
1,000 years old.
Thank you for that science.
Brittle, dull, fucking Triceratops. A million years old. That would shatter on touch. But, yeah.
Yeah, and they took DNA from that Indominus Rex from the first one.
Yeah, and again, that was one that they had to,
The opening scene, though, I did kind of like, because it flashed me back to the opening scene of the original, where they're trying to load all of them.
Well, that's
the
the thing.
Stuff.
All these Jurassic Park movies have that opening scene where
that
it's
was cool. I liked
already...
that, and I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be good." And then it just went.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
but we never got the giant croc again.
We got at the very end when he's surfing with.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
which no one was alarmed. They're just still gonna.
No
surf?
one even knew he was. No one even knew that thing was still alive somehow. Somehow they had no idea.
How can you not track that in the water?
They're so reckless when they're going it's just it's getting crazy to me. And no one when that happened, when they saw that thing kill the guy, no one radioed in or we just let out this giant fucking dinosaur.
They're just like, fuck it, let's get out of here.
They didn't tell anyone.
No, anyone.
Not a soul.
Not the Coast Guard. Nothing.
You could at least try to track it and keep it, whatever they're trying to do, sort of their zoo or whatever. But giant dinosaur got out. No one knew that. I did enjoy the opening. Well, and that opening made me think, okay, because I heard that this movie was supposed to be it's supposed to be dark, kind of like a horror movie or
That's
whatever.
what I had heard too.
And I saw I guess they're trying to do that in the second half, but I just wish it was would have been much darker. I really wish they would have went back to the horror roots of the first one.
Yes.
Well, the first one is it's a sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's tense as fuck. I remember watching that as a little kid and being like,
and
are these dinosaurs going to kill them?
And
at no point did I care.
Yeah, and it's very brutal and whatnot when but in this one, the dinosaurs, they just feel like dinosaurs and people just feel like, cannon fodder, where they're just they're there and they're gone. They're just disposable bodies and whatnot. But disappointed.
Yeah, as was I.
Let's talk about the girl.
Oh my god, that was so stupid.
I was like, in theater, I was like, they're just gonna blow past that.
Yeah.
The girl who is
A clone.
and like no one is even like.
No one even,
No one's taken back by it. No one, like, cloning technology. You're cloning dinosaurs? They can clone people now.
Yeah.
Why are these still messing around with dinosaurs?
Why not clone? Yeah.
I mean, and they're, like, trying to sell other dinosaurs and whatnot. The bad guy knew she was a clone. Why the fuck did he just not sell that technology for $1 trillion goddamn dollars?
Yeah. You could have clone troopers everywhere. If you wanted to build an army, you could have.
Yeah, you wouldn't need, and you could do, like, hybrid clone dinosaur people. You wouldn't need these shitty real dinosaurs who, like, what are they going to do for you, really? I mean, a lot of people were, like, buying, like, the omnivores and stuff.
For, like, exotic parks or whatever.
I know.
That makes sense, because people have tigers as pets. Do you know in Texas, there are more tigers in Texas than the rest of the world, as far as, like, people owning them? It's insane.
Yeah.
So I got that part.
I get that part, but then a tiger is a tiger. It kills things and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but
like,
to have an omnivore where it's not going to kill you as a pet if you're fucking filthy rich like those people.
But didn't you think, like, the big thing was, like, almost all these guys were, like, illegal, like, for, like, arms
like
and
criminals.
stuff.
Yeah,
like
wanting to get them
like
for
everyone
weapons.
seemed like they were, like, using it to, like, as a weapon or whatnot, and that's like what
you just got like 5 hippie rich people who are just like, I want an omnivore.
I know you'd think, but yeah. And how the Endo Raptor, how it was like, it was just supposed to be like the test subject or whatever, and then they end up selling it.
Just sell it. How irresponsible is that?
No,
it's not even. It's a prototype. You're just gonna say, yeah, fuck it.
I know.
28 million. It's like you already made 200 million off this auction. You really gonna go for 28?
And they were only halfway through too.
What?
That was the middle. They stopped to do that in the middle of the auction.
Yeah.
200 million in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy
they would have made another 200 million.
And the doctor was like, I need it. We can't get rid of it. He's like, I need it to make more. And they're like, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll get more later. No, we won't.
There was no logic at all in this movie. It was just every decision was made to move the movie forward, but none of the decisions made sense to me.
And it's just lazy writing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, all that shit should make sense. Especially and that's what I've never understood with these $170 million budget movies, is the writing always lacks in them. It always lacks. And I hated the scene. I'm skipping here a little bit, but I absolutely hated that scene where the little girl's hiding in the bed and the Endo Raptor is just sneaking up on him, just very slowly. And at the last possible second, Chris Pratt busts through the door and saves the day. I'm like, fuck, man, really?
I hated every scene where they're hiding from the Endo Raptor and they're like, he can smell from 80 miles away. And then they're hiding, they're just running around.
I know, I was like...
And it's like, well, he's not the best predator in the world. He can't even fucking kill this little kid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this thing's the ultimate weapon.
Sense.
Yeah, I know. It was very, I don't know. And it was way more over dramatic for me than it needed to be. That part at the end, we're skipping around everywhere. With the end when they're on the roof or whatever, and it's like they're playing like the big orchestra, like the Duel of Fates. Yeah. Like I'm like, it was like the 1,000-piece orchestra and the choir and everything's like, well. When I'm watching it, I'm feeling like this should be way more important than me, especially with like I feel like they're dueling off like long-lived enemies or something, but it was nothing like that.
No,
I didn't care at all. It was just super dramatic for a very cheesy and kind of corny movie.
And that's what I was gonna say too. Like you bring up the originals being tense and stuff. At no point was I tense. Like, one of these guys are gonna die.
No,
because you knew. None of the main characters were going to get hurt. Realistically, the only people they killed were like one-offs. So like one scene, guys holding a rifle getting eaten. That's it.
There was no surprise at all. It was everyone that you expected to die died.
Died, yeah.
Every time you saw a guy with a gun, you'd be like, "Oh, he's dead for sure." But
and what the fuck was that foreshadowing of the guy pulling teeth? And then later on, he shoots it.
I'm just gonna get in this cage and take his tooth.
How stupid! And the guy knows he works for the company that's doing it, and he knows how this is like an apex predator.
I thought this guy at first because I didn't mind that bad guy. I thought he did good. That guy's in a ton of stuff.
No, he did good. Yeah, for sure.
And at first I'm like, oh, he's getting all these teeth because he's gonna like double cross him and sell the DNA. And I'm like,
that would have been a better story.
This makes sense.
Yeah.
But then he gets in the thing. And he's like, this is gonna make a nice necklace. He's just gonna walk around home with a giant fucking
dinosaur necklace.
Yeah, I'm like,
what?
where are you gonna go with that? Yeah, exactly. And that part was just so dumb. I thought for sure it was going to be him, like, being a smart villain. He's just going to keep selling. And, like, okay, that makes sense because teeth have DNA in it. You could tell.
Yeah.
But he was just going to make a big fucking dumb necklace from it. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. Adjust your Jurassic Park scarf.
And I'm pretty sure.
Because I am irritated.
Like, the scene that came right after that, when those people are trying to get away on the elevator and the door closes just in time, and then the raptor just happens to whack the control panel with his tail. I'm pretty sure the door does not open if you do that.
Yeah, if you do
I'm
that.
pretty positive.
And not only that, but that elevator was open the whole time, and the people were hiding behind the wall. Why didn't you hit the button to go up?
They couldn't. They couldn't function. They couldn't do it. And as soon as the guy comes in there, okay, I'm gonna close it.
We should hit the button now.
And then the dinosaur just happens to whip around. I don't know if that was like he did it on
intentional.
Purpose. Yeah, I don't know if he was just like that's how smart he is. He figured out elevators now. But that whole thing was again just a reason to have a death, to have that guy killed in some kind of spectacular way, I guess. But it wasn't. It was very dumb. Yeah. Not a lot I liked about this movie.
There wasn't a lot for me either, man, unfortunately.
And the best parts of these movies are always looking at the dinosaurs doing dinosaur shit. And they barely showed any of that.
No.
Like in the beginning, a little tiny bit. And then when they left the island, they were all in cages.
And again, they weren't doing dinosaur stuff. They were doing like human, because they're not dinosaurs anymore. Now they're trained like animals, and they're not. Again, it takes that kind of like wonder and everything away from it. I'd say my favorite scene is when they're all leaving the island, and
I swear to God, I was just about to bring
and the big long neck comes out, and that scene was a good scene.
Yes.
I really did like that scene. Everything about that scene I liked. It was very dramatic. You felt for the dinosaur because again, he wasn't some trained long neck hunting people or whatever.
Right.
Long neck.
Yeah, but yeah,
Littlefoot.
Yeah,
Land Before Time.
I like that scene.
I love that you know that reference. Thank you.
Who doesn't?
God damn it. You guys make fun of me about the shit I watch, but you guys watch Land Before Time, so suck it.
Land Before Time is directed by Spielberg. Or Spielberg written, so it's very
Okay.
That's a great movie.
Did you guys watch all the 20 sequels after that? Because I did.
I think I got to like 5 maybe.
Yeah, I got to like I
The
got a
third
little
one's
farther.
good when they like introduce like the T-Rex, the kid.
What's the T-Rex's name? Chomp.
Yeah,
Chomper.
Chomper, yeah.
But
God, I love those shows.
That movie, you remember Ducky?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. That's a tragic story of the original.
That's what I always think of when I hear about that movie.
So do I.
Tragic.
God damn, that's terrible.
It is horrible. Yeah, it's a downer. For sure.
Yeah.
But we don't need to talk about that.
But yeah, that was the one positive scene for me too. And I watched that and I go, wow, that was really good. Where is the rest of that?
Exactly, because that's the one scene that kind of felt
right before that was one of the worst scenes in the movie for me, when they jumped that big ass fucking truck onto the boat.
Oh my God.
And then everybody's just like, oh yeah, they work for us.
Yeah. No one had any
like,
questions.
hey, who the fuck is that?
No one even ran over to the truck.
No.
And be like, are you guys okay?
I'm gonna put this John Deere hat on and nobody's gonna fucking know I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah, and like
Thank God there was available space waiting for this truck. Yeah.
Well, good thing that wasn't completely full.
No, yeah.
But again, even those quote unquote suspenseful scenes were never suspenseful to me because you already knew. You already knew what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. There was no surprises.
No, absolutely not.
I'll shut up about that now, but I had to make my point on that again.
No, it's true. There wasn't.
Well, a lot of the surprises too they gave away in all the fucking trailers.
We got to talk about that too. They gave away over half the movie just in the trailer. Mm-hmm. Like, you knew the plot of this whole entire movie. And we talk about that a lot on this podcast, about these trailers just giving away too much. If you want a picture-perfect example, this would be the movie that just gave away way too much.
Oh, blockbusters, or I know. Blockbusters in
They're
general.
notorious
Again, but again, there's like there was no story elements where you could really have given away in the trailer where it'd be like, oh, they totally ruined that for me or whatever. Because this one, again, had no surprise at all.
None.
So if one where I had like a twist ending or whatever, I would be more disappointed. But this one, go ahead, give it all away. Yeah, we should have known from the trailer that we fucking saw everything that was worth seeing. But yeah. So you guys are disappointed in it.
I was. This was very disappointing for me.
Let me tell you how disappointed I was. I make it a mission to never get up and have to use the restroom during movies. I got up and used the restroom during this movie because I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, this is one you could
That's
have.
That's hardcore, man.
You could have gone out half an hour later and came back and literally not missed anything in the story at all.
Yeah, I came back and I was like, Zach, what I missed is like, oh, the Indoraptors chasing them around. I was like, okay.
Oh, big surprise happens in every movie. Yeah. The whole reasoning to get them to the island and whatnot with them like saving the dinosaurs. Those dinosaurs are all going to die anyways once they get them off the island. I mean, they don't breed.
Yeah, well, so I want to know why it was so important to save them when they could have just made more. They made them to begin with. Why couldn't they just make more somewhere else?
I don't.
Yeah, and they were making the Endo Raptor. You know, like why do you need the other dinosaur? That doesn't. Yeah, these other species.
Yeah, and people like buying like. Again, they were selling like the DNA and everything with them, but like people like buying the live dinosaurs. Why not just buy the DNA? Why do you want that one live one that most of those people just seem like they were either going to go hunt or kill? Yeah. But you couldn't save them. They're all females and whatnot, and now that they're like, spoiler alert, but they're here now.
Yeah.
And whatnot. It doesn't. The whole thing in the first one, if you guys remember the part where the dinosaur is sick, the original, the 1993 one, where the Triceratops is sick, remember she has to put her arm in the shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
They talk about how that was a big problem because they got sick because you can't have the same plants with the dinosaurs because their bodies can't digest it and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right.
So they had to, in the book it goes in detail that they have to get original plants and clone those two from 60 million years ago. Because, so now all those dinosaurs are here. They're all just going to die if they eat. I mean, because they can't. Any of those plants, can't digest it or anything.
Yeah.
And that was a big part. That was a big part in the. And that was the whole thing. I'm thinking, like, no matter what, even if you put them on another island or whatever, you got to duplicate all the plants and everything. So again, that didn't make any sense to me. And I want to be the science guy on this show.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, they completely threw it all out of the window.
Well, I went and saw this with my brother Griffey, and he must have leaned over to me 3 or 4 times. Because normally I don't talk too much. I'll say like one thing to you, but I normally don't talk too much. But every time he leaned over and he was like, called it every time. And he called the little girl hitting the button too. But I mean, I saw it coming too, but it's just
they're
like...
just like her, so
yeah.
I had to let them out.
Again, how careless. She probably killed hundreds of people.
Oh,
I mean, if there's a third one and those dinosaurs kill people, it's her fault.
It's her fault. Yeah, absolutely.
Put that little girl in jail for sure.
And that whole scene with like her like thinking, that whole like big suspense was like, is she gonna open it? And I was thinking, how careless would it be?
How could you? I know. How could you knowingly kill hundreds, if not thousands, of people?
They're literally
by hitting a button for.
They're letting out
dinosaurs.
a T-Rex.
Yeah.
One of them is a T-Rex. It's the T-Rex.
Right.
How old is that bitch now? She's been in every goddamn.
Remember, they can live 4 or 5 times longer with proper nutrition.
Yeah, I'm
That's
glad.
what they said.
They finally discussed.
Thanks for clarifying.
They finally discussed that. We have no idea how long they could live forever now. 50 years now. I mean, fucking dogs live 20 years. These things can live for. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're like turtles. Like sea turtles can live to be, 130, 200 years old.
We know now that they're descendants of birds, and birds don't live.
Yeah, birds do not live long, no.
Well, some of them do.
Yeah, I guess
parrots can live to be like 100.
But chickens is what the Velociraptor is closely related to, and that's... I don't know. And another little fun fact, Velociraptors in real life are only like 3.5 feet tall. Yeah.
Really?
They're as big as... They're like the size of big turkeys. They're like this. I mean, I'm sure they could probably kill.
They'd still kill you.
They got that big old claw.
Yeah, a 50-pound cat could kill us, so...
But yeah.
We're pretty easy to kill. humans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're just squishy meat bags.
Yeah.
You pierce
Just
us.
balloons,
You pierce
yeah.
us, we leak.
We're done.
Not like big T-Rexes who have
Thick
skin.
Yeah, alligator skin.
And I like how the blood, and for each dinosaur, you can put blood in any kind of... You got
Any
a T-Rex,
dinosaur.
put it in a Velociraptor.
Yeah.
You got a fucking Brontosaurus, put that in something else.
Well, she did
They're
say
all
that it
dinosaurs.
had to be a carnivore with no more than 3 fingers.
Yeah, I just don't think there's science to that.
No, I don't think there is any.
I don't know
I don't have
but
the
I'm
degree.
pretty
Yeah.
sure that's bullshit.
I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to science school. But I gotta tell you, I just don't think there's any science to
I don't think there are either.
And yeah. And remember that like ruins the blood of the Velociraptor.
Yeah.
The doctor's mad at the end because now
It's tainted.
it's tainted
yeah.
blood. There was a lot. There was a lot in this movie that didn't make a lot of sense. A lot to unpack.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was...
Oh, and did it even explain why there was hydrogen cyanide in the house?
Right? I leaned
what
over
the
to Zach.
fuck?
I was
What
like,
is it?
how many dangerous chemicals are in this house? Because they pierce something in the operating room and it blows up.
Right.
And then it punctures that. I was like, why they got so many toxic gases in their house?
Why the fuck? Hydrogen cyanide.
You
What
need
the
it
fuck
to
do you
create-
need that for?
Dinosaurs are 99% hydrogen cyanide.
Fascinating. Did not know that. Okay.
No, I have no idea.
Chemistry
I
lesson.
don't know why did anything in this movie happen? But yeah, that was just a dramatic scene. I guess that was, and the house wasn't even gonna blow up. It was just gonna kill everything in it, right? Just poison them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was convenient. It was
is.
convenient to move the story along. That's for sure.
That's basically this whole movie. It's just something thrown in there to move the story along.
Yeah, it's convenience, and then like I said, like winks and nods and whatnot. It's 90% homage to the original. Again, with like the big T-Rex like scream every time she walked out. That again was just from the original. It was just a nod or whatever, and it did not.
Who's the old guy supposed to be? I missed that.
Which guy?
The old guy that he murdered with a pillow.
Oh, that was John Hammond's business partner.
That has never been
It's not
brought up in
no.
any of the other things.
It's not mentioned in anything, and I guarantee he was never supposed to be in the story before this. He might be.
Yeah.
He's in the book, I think, but I don't know. Like, where's he been the whole time?
Yeah.
And it was like a weird kind of thing where like, was her mom supposed to be someone? Because she was like.
They set it up. I totally expected them to show somebody from the other movies
I thought it
being
was
her
gonna be
mom.
the-
I was like, that's going to be so cool.
I thought it was gonna
It's
be
like,
the- yeah.
she's a clone and it's the same person.
I thought it was gonna be the little girl or the girl from the first one.
Yeah.
But again, that was John Hammond's granddaughter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how is this gonna make sense?
I could
And then
not
they're like,
figure it out.
I don't know if there was like supposed to be something more in the story because she's like, she only went to the park once and it was like really sad or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, she died in a car wreck. So I don't know. Maybe that's gonna be in the third one where she was played some role or something.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Where do they take
Yeah,
this
let's
franchise?
talk about that. What are they
Where do
going
they
to
take
do
it
what I
for
was
the
saying.
next one now?
I don't know.
Because there's like 12 dinosaurs in the United States now. What are they going to do?
don't know.
It's gonna be.
Well, more than 12. There were a
could-
bunch of them in that.
It
thing.
could be
I
like
was
a
being
post.
sarcastic.
Oh.
Post-apocalyptic.
Well, you were close because they got 11 different species originally. That's where I thought you were going with that.
The point was there's not like an overwhelming number of them.
Yeah, but now everyone's got fucking dinosaur DNA.
Right.
That whole thing with like everyone leaving at the end with just, I just think now that they're just gonna be like mass produced, and I think I would like to see like post-apocalyptic, like a Planet of the Apes style or whatever. Where
That'd be
now,
cool.
Okay,
now it's
yeah.
like dinosaurs are back. Because the whole
They
thing
could
was
salvage this trilogy.
like, yeah, which the. Fuck, I can't
And Chris Pratt's the only one alive because he's building the house out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would be
With
fine.
his
Yeah.
girlfriend and
Although
clone-
I like Chris Pratt, I
clone
would be
adopted
fine if
daughter.
they.
I love Chris Pratt.
I like him,
too.
but I'd be fine if he wasn't in the third one. I'd be fine if they did like a totally new story.
New
or
storyline,
whatever.
yeah.
Because you can't. I mean, at this point, he is like a superhero in these
But
films.
Blue
or
is still alive. Who's going to hang out with Blue?
whatever.
Yeah,
Gives
but
a
she's
shit.
the only raptor.
Yeah.
And
The only
I
one left.
don't see that going good.
I see Blue killing just a ton of people. Remember, the last scene was like Blue going into a cul-de-sac or whatever. I assume he's just going to go on a rampage. I hope so. But again, now Blue is like Lassie. I'm sure he only eats vegetables.
Exactly, right.
Like this thing's, I know, like this thing's still got to eat.
Yeah.
The T-Rex is in a zoo, roaring at a lion.
Not only that, but yeah, how much do those fucking things have to eat to sustain life? Probably quite a bit. What the fuck are they going to eat in the wilderness?
I mean, you would find a T-Rex almost immediately, I'm guessing, after it got loose. I mean,
I would say it would be a lot easier than trying to find Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to... Those things have to eat a ton. Mm-hmm. They always show them eating like one goat.
I know. I'm like really? That's a snack.
Those things
it's
are
like one fruit.
Yeah.
Snack,
a fucking lion eats a shit ton of
yeah.
I mean, imagine a 10,000-pound T-Rex.
And of course, he did the goat scene again in this movie.
Yeah, again. Yeah. No, again. You could write down every fucking nod in this movie. There'd be 100 of them. Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you guys think about Jeff Goldblum's cameo in this?
It proved to me that you can't just throw Jeff Goldblum in anything and make it a good movie. Yeah. Even though his part was good.
I liked
it because
he was in front of the Congress or whatever, or the Supreme Court.
I don't know. It looked like the fucking round table. There's only like 11 people there. But yeah. I love that character. I think I just loved it more because he's from the original, and that was a big part of the original was he was the only one. For some reason, he's the only one against it still after years and years. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love Jeff Goldblum. You know I do. But he did not make this. I mean,
no, he did not make it.
I mean, he was only in it for 20 seconds, and he knew very well not to be in it any longer than that.
Yeah,
he had a big part of it. How about this movie? It waited till the very last line to say the title. Because he's like, oh, this is a Jurassic World.
That's true. He did get that.
They got it in there at the very end.
That was probably one of his stipulations for being in this movie. He's like, look, only if I can announce the title.
Yeah, the very last line.
Like, look, you're Jeff Goldblum. Of course you can.
Yeah, dude, where the fuck?
We got $170 million, bitch.
Jeff, we're letting anyone do anything in this movie.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the third one, but Colin Trevorrow was the one who did the original. And apparently he's coming back for the third.
To direct?
And he said that the third one was the one that he wanted to direct more than anything. Because apparently that was the big one or whatever.
But did he know where the story would take?
That's a big thing. I think there had to have been some kind of plan of where this was going.
Right.
And I saw an interview where he said like the second one was kind of just like a stepping stone to get him there maybe. So maybe there's some way to salvage it, but
yeah.
Again, I wish he would have directed the second one, and we could have not seen this hot pile of shit.
And we could have not seen this. Yeah. Yeah, I have not heard many good things from people that I know that have not seen it.
That goof.
The goof.
Owen is tranquilized with the dart, which he is.
Right,
and the same dart that tranquilizes.
I know, that's what I had thought, too. I forgot about that scene.
Why did that not stop his heart?
Yeah. Not going to kill him instantly.
I know. There's too many scenes to really go back and we barely even talked about the first hour, because the first hour was so forgettable.
Yeah,
them being on the island, which should be a very important part, but...
Oh, gosh. Disappointing.
I know, we wait so long for
I know, I was so stoked for this movie. I really was. I was stoked for this.
I love anything. I'm just fine with seeing a regular dinosaur hunt people.
Yeah.
I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
Maybe if that's just the old man and me talking back in my day.
It's true though. They just try to do too much.
Back in my day, raptors and T-Rexes were plenty.
Yes. Biting people's arms off and, being gory or somewhat gory and still.
That's another thing. There was no gore in this movie.
No
real gore.
Because again, I'm sure.
Except when the guy got ripped in half, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, my theater was. Again, there were some scenes that were somewhat graphic or whatever. But my theater was packed full of kids. Like, that was like the main
audience.
Yeah, which I think is kind of what they're trying to get people to do and whatnot. But again, when you see those gore scenes and there's a bunch of kids, you're like, oh, well, who is this really for? We're like, people are getting torn apart. But again, they're doing like the lame ass kids jokes and whatnot. I don't know.
I would love to see a rated R Jurassic World.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah. Some gory dinosaur.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten a rated R like dinosaur movie.
Yeah. Because there are other storylines you could use with dinosaurs somehow, some way. You know, like maybe a time warp or, you know, different alternative universe. There's a bunch of stuff.
You could do like an awesome, like...
Do a Turok movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Rad.
With The Rock.
Not with The Rock. Because if it's with The Rock, it's not going to be good.
Starring The Rock.
But like I said, I think you could do a horror Jurassic Park movie or something. You could do something where, like... Blue is out in the forest, now he's like hunting people or whatever, and like you get this small group that has to hunt him and whatnot, and now he's like taking them out one by one.
Yeah,
right after I saw it, I'm like, oh man, you could do it
like a dinosaur Rambo.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
Setting booby traps.
It doesn't have to be where he was like Blue's the main character or whatever, and he's
movie.
like goes back to him being like tortured in Vietnam or whatever. But you could do it. You could do a ton. You could do one where like it goes back to the original park or something, and like a side story or something that we didn't see in the original or something. Or you could just follow any of the 3 books that have been out. Or you could just do your own plot and come out with this masterpiece, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Gonna pass on that. That was another scene too. This scene made no sense. So they're hiding behind the ball. And, like, all these dinosaurs are just knocking the logs over and shit. Like, powerful animals, but none of them run into the ball. But I knew they weren't going to run into the ball. As I'm watching it, I go, okay, none of them are going to run into it. They're not going to have to move.
Well, I knew immediately they're getting into that ball.
Well, yeah, because of the trailer, yeah.
Well, yeah, and just the foreshadowing of, like, oh, somehow they made it where Chris Pratt was not in the ball for some
but
dumb
he was
reason.
Keeping up, and he was running as fast as the dinosaurs, or the dinosaurs were just barely passing him.
He's fast as shit, man.
I'm sure he is. He's an athletic man.
I mean, it seemed like there could have been room in the ball, though. I mean, am I right?
Yeah, you think he could have squeezed in, and
I think that was the plan, but for some reason he was just very slow, and then the door closed.
Yeah.
And again, you have like these dinosaurs running from this volcano or whatever, but they always have time to come around and kill a human.
Yeah, and they always have time. Yeah, they're always hungry. Fuck it, I'm trying to eat something.
No matter what, they're running like past like, you know,
other dinosaurs,
herbivores, omnivores, small dinosaurs that they could always eat. But as soon as they see a human,
gotta get them.
Yeah, I gotta eat that human.
And as soon as you see a dinosaur slightly smaller than a T-Rex, you know that T-Rex is coming in.
You know,
and it happened
every
like
time.
Twice.
It did.
Yeah, the very last second, what do they call the big T-Rex?
Tyrannosaurus Rexes?
No, they have a name for it because it's the same one that's been in every single one of them. That T-Rex is supposed to be the one from the first one.
Oh, isn't it called just like Rexy or something?
Rexy, yeah.
But she always comes in the last second.
She always does. She's every time. Yep.
She's 89 years old now, but...
It's an old-ass dinosaur.
I know. She's grown CGI over her years.
Yeah, she has.
CGI.
Yeah.
Well, should we rate this?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's rate this. Let's rate
pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I would say so.
It is a big fucking disappointment.
I rounded this up to my number.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Roundup.
I love this franchise overall. You know, I love Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic World. The first one I liked a lot. I had so much anticipation, so much excitement for the second one. And it just fell short for me. Every trope in the book, every cliche in the book, you betcha. You know, at no point did you feel like the characters were in any sort of danger, even though they're surrounded by fucking apex predators. Just disappointing. That's the best I can say. And again, you know, I love Chris Pratt. I fucking love that dude. Anything he's in, I'll watch. But I think he's a great actor, you know. But I was disappointed. I gave this a 40%.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, it's very, but I was, disappointed.
We didn't talk very much about the acting in it or whatever.
Right.
But even the acting just kind of put me off.
It felt to me like everybody in the film was like, this is not good, so I'm not even going to try, really.
It felt everything was extremely forced.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, everything was like, they're like, all right, this is dramatic, be sad. And even with, like you said, I like Chris Pratt, but even him, like, you know, he's on his own now. He's building a cabin in the woods, and he's, like, off the grid. And it just seems way overdone or whatever. Like, what's he doing for money?
Yeah, like what?
That's what I thought too. I was like, where's he getting all the money to build this shit?
To build a house. Like,
he's
you know how much money this shit costs?
He's retired at 30.
Yeah. He's got some kind of settlement for almost getting murdered. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was another thing too. Do you guys remember early on when the news is reporting, it was only like $60 million in damages or something?
It was $800 million.
Oh, it was $800 million.
But still, and then that is like, how was the company still around? Like, how much? I mean, how is like Hammond's partner Johnson or whatever? Like, how much?
How's he funding this?
Money does he have? Like,
how's he funding all these settlements?
How did that not ruin the entire company?
Yeah,
with, like, they never talk about how, like, they went bankrupt now or whatever. They $800 million. I mean,
that's a lot of dough.
There had to be how many deaths on that island? On the
first one.
I mean, there was a
pterodactyls picking people up, dropping them, eating them.
A ton of people died, and this guy's still just fucking thriving.
Still got a great mansion up in the hills.
Great mansion. He's cloning kids.
He's got a secret dungeon, which the little girl apparently
that he doesn't go down to. He knows nothing about. You have this giant lab in the basement.
Like, how could you do this? It's like, how'd you not know?
He's like, in my own home. If you don't know that there's a giant fucking science lab in your basement, I don't think he wanted to know.
No, he didn't.
That's just negligence.
Yeah.
And you think, you lock this thing up. You figure they'd have like retina scans or something. Nope, just a 4-digit passcode. I got a 4-digit passcode on my fucking iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's a 6-digit one. I got more security on my phone than they do on this multi-billion-dollar lab. No. That's some bullshit.
Everything's analog, especially the locks are always
they're just... Lift up.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
We can clone dinosaurs, but the padlock is it's the peak. It's the peak of technology. You can't get better than padlock.
Yeah. That's how we lock up dinosaurs.
And it's never even locked. It's just like the deadlock.
It's just literally a handle. It's not even like double secured.
And most of these fucking dinosaurs at this point can open doors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Endo Rex, I mean, he's been bred for it.
And how did he not? Yeah, he's moving his tail up and down. How did he not just unlock that door and get out? Stop it. Next person.
Well, pretty much this should have been called Jurassic World Plot Hole, but yeah, it was
sweet dig.
But yeah, it was major disappointment, and this is by far my least favorite of any of these movies. Even the second and third Jurassic Park, which are not that great, but they're
horrible,
way better than this, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I watched the third one yesterday. I watched Jurassic Park 3 yesterday, and I was like, this is way better than what I just went to the theater to see.
Was last time you watched Lost World?
Yeah, not too long ago.
Lost World's really bad, but it's because they use ton of CGI in like 96 or whatever.
I mean, obviously
the
third one's not
the story of that one makes sense, and they did like a pretty decent job at it. This one is just a bunch of shit going on at the same time.
Well, again, because like those ones are based in reality. Mm-hmm. These ones aren't at all. No.
So yeah, I don't really know what to give this. I'm trying to think of anything that I liked. I liked the few times that you actually got to see dinosaurs. And that's about it. So, I don't know. I'm probably right there with Mason, around 40%.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It is rough.
Definitely
It pains me to give that low of a score to this franchise.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think I'd give the second and third Jurassic Parks that low. Because they at least entertained me. Even if some of it was cheesy. Mm-hmm. There was enough there that I could grab onto something. This one was just, I mean, like I said, I got up and went to the bathroom in the middle of it because I didn't care.
Right.
Yeah. With those first and second, third ones of the original, they always feel, what's somewhat small or whatever. And this one goes by the bigger is better, which is just 100% not true.
Right.
As we're learning, obviously, with the Mummy franchise and whatnot and everything. God. It's not like you said, those second and third ones, they are not great movies and whatnot, but they still felt somewhat small. And even the third one, it's always based around a small group of people, where this one just felt... I mean, it's called Jurassic World, and they're really trying to do that. They're really trying to make it worldwide. But I just really wish they'd go back to their roots and make it smaller, go with more horror. I didn't love it. I'll give it a 32. And it does suck. It does suck to give.
Yeah.
Because we wait so long for these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Normally with
the next one's not coming out till 2021, rumored.
Yeah, the third one.
Normally with these types of movies, even though they're bad, to us, I usually say it's worth seeing in theaters just to see the dinosaurs up on that big screen. But this one, it kind of threw all that away. There's not that much in it, so I don't see a point in going to the theater to see it.
I know. It usually is enough just to see, because it's the wonder of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But this one, they just felt like I was just watching a computer animation. It never felt like I was seeing an actual dinosaur. It never felt like, oh, this is amazing to me. Because one, the characters were never amazed by any of it. No matter who it was or whatever, on the island, seeing dinosaur for the first time, whatever, no one was really blown away by it like they were in the first one, when they're speechless after they see a long neck. No one I don't know. People are just so used to it, I guess, in this world where you can't bother anyone.
Can't surprise anyone, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Any trivia about this, Michael?
There was a bunch that I didn't look at because there was so much, but I already talked about most of this stuff that I wrote down. I guess Tom Holland actually spoiled the ending of this movie for Chris Pratt, though. Before Chris Pratt worked on this movie, he was talking to somebody.
You don't know Tom Holland's famous for spoilers.
Right? He just spoiled the new Spider-Man.
Well, they let him do that. I guess.
They did let him. Okay.
But apparently, they don't let him read the end of the script. They don't let him read any part of it.
He's not even in this movie.
How
do you
know?
Hilarious. He was talking to one of the writers, I think, while they were shooting the Avengers movie.
What was the ending that I spoiled that this movie fucking blows?
I'm not sure. It didn't say what part, it just said the ending.
Yeah, I mean, what's the ending to spoil?
So then when Chris Pratt went to film this and it got to towards shooting the end, Chris Pratt's like, oh, shit, yeah, this is exactly what Tom told me.
I swear he's doing it on purpose at this point.
He's
going around.
Gotta be. He can't be that big of a blabbermouth.
How dumb could you be where you're going around?
He just gets away with it because I know. So do I. Well, we all do. Yeah.
But he is just a young kid, so I understand him ruining
his excitement
because he gets so excited and whatnot. But who's telling him?
I don't know.
He's not even into this.
Don't tell him stuff.
Tom, I got to tell you about this
movie.
I'm making.
You're a screenwriter. Yeah, you gotta stay away from that kid.
Tom, I know you have nothing to do with this Jurassic Park, but I gotta tell you the ending. You're gonna love it.
But
don't tell anyone.
Yeah, keep it a secret.
Tom, I know you. You're the best at keeping secrets.
Absolutely.
I don't understand.
Man. Well,
I know in Avengers or whatever, someone wrote why does Tom Holland look like he has no idea what's ever going on in the Avengers movie? And then he commented and he's like, because I don't. He's
I wouldn't let him read the script. They gave him his lines on that day.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Stupid ass Tom. Come on.
Damn it.
Keep your mouth shut. Actors always ruin it.
Yeah, they do.
You can't trust them.
Yep. Well, we'll wrap this one up. Follow us on Instagram, guys. Have you seen it? Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Michael's on Twitter, WhatTheFalk63. Cash, that's just Cash. Our YouTube page, type in HYSI, hashtag followed by any episode you're looking for. And rate and review us on iTunes, guys. Every review helps. We just got a new one. Thought I'd let you guys know. Someone reviewed our podcast again on iTunes. Just gave us 5 stars. That's it. So, thank you.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. Seriously. We don't know his name.
Did you see the lights flicker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, we were in this.
All right. Adios.
Yeah.